Hey guys, it's Caryssa with Golden Love here in my backyard today. I wanted to talk about moving into a higher vibration and where we can get caught up sometimes. So, using a personal story here. So, there is something in my life that's been a pretty big part vibrationally for about the past year or so, and it showed a lot of promise. It came on super strong, um, and for this reason, I really wanted to explore it and see kind of like what this was all about, right? Um, but something that I noticed, and raising my vibration has been something really big for me. It's something that I also aim to create a space for other people to realize they can do as well. So this is kind of just like the mode of work that I'm always in. But as I moved on, I started noticing that this situation really wasn't making me feel good. But I kind of continued to hold on to it because of the promise that it showed, because of how strong the energy was. So I was like, the energy is so strong, like this should be something, right? Um, well, this is where we can kind of get caught up in these lower vibrations and get caught up in our shift to the higher vibration, right? Is when we try to take this vibration that doesn't feel good. If something doesn't feel good for you, it means that it's not resonating with where you are in your life right now. It doesn't mean that it has never resonated with you before, and it doesn't mean that it won't ever resonate with you again, but it just means that right now, for where you are in your life, it's not a match. And so it will lower your vibration. So, what happened here is that when we feel this lower vibration, a lot of times we feel like we want to fix it, right? We feel like, oh, you know what, this doesn't feel good, so I have to try to make it feel good because it used to feel good, because it should feel good, because it's something that should be around for me, right? And that's where we get caught up because we're trying to make something better that's just not really there as a match for us in the first place. And so when we do that, we're not it's not about correcting the vibration, correcting the thing, correcting the situation, correcting the person so it does feel good. It's about noticing that it doesn't feel good and letting it go. When we try to correct it, we are in turn strengthening and perpetuating that lower vibration, that non-resonance with us and with ourselves. So then the question is, how do we switch over moving forward? How do we feel better? How do we then change our vibration and expand our awareness and rise higher? And I think the key is right in that sentence is to expand our awareness and become real with, how is this actually feeling for us internally? Not what does it look like externally, not what should it be doing, how does it really feel with us internally? And when we realize, oh, you know what, this thing actually doesn't feel good, this energy doesn't feel good, then we can have this expanded awareness of, because it doesn't feel good, it means that it must not be a match for me right now. It means that this is actually not lining up for me. So in that, you can let it go, right? You don't have to try to correct it or change it or explain why it's not good for you, any of those sort of things. You can, but what we are trying to get to is the allowance of letting that go by realizing it's not a match for you right now, okay? And this can be people, situations, relationships, experiences, things, places, the place that you live, jobs, all of this kind of stuff, right? And the first thing to moving on is going to be acknowledgement of how it is actually matching up with you or not matching up with you in your life, right? So, oh, everybody say hi to Walter. Walter, hey. So then how do we move forward and raise our vibration from here? That is the next question. If we're not going to try to fix what we thought was good for us or tune it to what, try to make it something that feels good for us, how do we raise our vibration? first by letting go of what doesn't feel good, and second, by letting go into the moment and noticing what does feel good for you. What does feel good for you, okay? And that can start with something completely different and in a different area from the situation that you're dealing in. Often it will, to kind of shift your focus here, okay? So what happens when we find something that does feel good for us? Okay, so say, we just recently are working on letting go of vibration. Okay, this doesn't feel good internally for me. I'm gonna switch my focus because that means it's not good for me at this time, right? And do something else. Okay, so say I'm then 5 seconds later walking down the street and somebody says, "Oh my gosh, I love your hair," right? And you're like, that feels good, right? So because things that feel good for us and something that feels happy, because it's not a threat, our reptilian brain, which everybody has a reptilian brain, it's the lowest, there's like 3 general layers to the brain, right? It's the lowest layer of the brain, our survival mechanism, doesn't really like to attune to things that feel positive or neutral because it's not a threat. And so because it doesn't pose a threat, it just means the body is safe. So like, okay, skip over that, right? That's not a threat to our survival. So we're actually essentially rewiring the brain in this way, right? Because when we do attune ourselves and notice like, okay, that compliment felt good. This outfit that I'm wearing feels good. This food that I'm eating right now feels good. Being in a relationship or connection with this certain person makes me feel free, happy, good, right? So just like you noticed the feelings of when something wasn't aligning with you, when it didn't make you feel good inside, when it made you feel closed up, you also want to notice when something makes you feel free. Especially when something makes you feel free, that means that your energy is flowing, okay, through your body. When something makes you feel loved, when something makes you feel appreciated, when something makes you feel happy, joyful, blissful, neutral, okay, those feelings of letting go, of relaxation, that's what you want to pay attention to. And so when you have those feelings, become aware and then let them live inside of you, right? What does that mean? That means to allow them to expand in you a little longer. See if you can have that feeling be within you for 20 or 30 seconds. See if you can really set in and be like, I feel so good right now. I feel so free, and relax and let that feeling expand within you without trying to hold on to it or keep it with you, okay? You don't want to tense down or hold on to it, but to let go and let it move through you. Okay, so what is this doing with you on a biological level? This is attuning your brain, building new gray matter neurological connections that are strengthening things, your attachment connection rather, to things that do feel good for you, and connecting in that emotional, that limbic system to the rest of the brain and saying, okay, I like it when I do these things. I like it when I'm around this person. I like to feel this way. This keeps me safe. This makes me feel good. It realigns your glandular system, and so it lowers the stress hormones and increases those hormones of happiness, of connection, of trust, like serotonin, like oxytocin, like anandamide, those ones that make us feel good and relaxed, right? And it's also going to, because of all these, loosen up the muscles in the body, okay? And really just make you into a more optimal human, right? It's going to help you to have better efficiency, to loosen up your mind, and to really shift your perspective over and turn yourself towards what feels good for you. And instead of feeling that's like it's wasting your time or not efficient to be doing stuff that feels good, it attunes your perspective to, wow, this feels good, so it must be supporting me, keeping me safe, raising my vibration. So let me know if you have any questions. Please like, subscribe if you're on YouTube, and I will see you lovelies later.